keg rudder. So
No centerboard?
No centerboard. The prop is in the breeze.
This I'm surprised.
What?
Surprised that the ladies are so small. Usually when they're out there, they roll you quite a bit.
Right. Doing good.
Did you ever lasso a bull like that?
A bull? No, a pig, yes.
Yeah, hey, man. I grew up with pigs.
I love pigs.
Man, pigs and
love
piglets,
They're the best.
absolutely wonderful.
They're the best.
Yeah, they are. They're like next to humans. You know, we can use pig aorta and pig hearts, and now they transplant pig kidneys.
Pigs make better companions than dogs.
They do.
I never had a house pig, a domesticated pig,
No, me neither.
but I raised pigs. I only raised 2 of them, and they broke my heart when it was the day to go to slaughter. But you know what made up for it? I was stocked the freezer. We had that meat all winter long. Oh man, there was nothing like. I've never had meat like that in my life. But it sounds like we both survived our childhoods.
Yeah, we did.
And in some ways, they made us stronger.
Hey, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
To an extent.
If you have a disease, right, and you can get through it, right, you're likely never to get that disease again. Or, less likely.
You learn how much you got, how much chutzpah, how much mojo you got. You learn. But where I stop with that analogy is when you take too much on it. Because, you can't tell me that the veterans who come back from the war with no legs are stronger after they lose their legs or they lose an arm or they're blind,
Not stronger, but maybe more determined to, push through.
I mean,
Yeah,
those are the exceptions because the majority of people,
just fall apart.
look at how many suicides we have from the vets coming back.
Suicide from vets, suicide from police.
That's right.
Anyone that sees gory stuff.
Because we're asking them to do things that they shouldn't have to go through.
Well, we're asking them to do things that nobody wants to do.
That's right.
They do, but some of them do it in honor.
That's right.
And some of them, they can't handle it, but they try.
Some of them it crushes. Some of them turn to the other side and they go evil. There are plenty of those sick puppies out there too. I used to see them when I was a kid.
Going up a little bit.
We go wherever you want. It's your day.
Well, listen, I appreciate this. I do. I haven't sailed in a small boat.
Enjoy.
Yeah,
It's less to worry about. You're closer to the water, you can hear it.
now you're in control.
You're totally in control.
And the big boat shit takes you a half a minute to tack my boat. Yeah. It's fucking slow it goes. Sometimes, and I was on a, was in an island trade in 51. And I had a chance to buy from Frank Simple, who is the Merchant Marine Academy on Kings Point over there, or whatever that is.
Okay.
He had a 51-foot brand new boat, a Taiwanese boat.
Oh, like mine.
Yeah, 51-foot. Everything was carved stuff inside.
Right.
The boat was
Right.
beautiful.
Right.
2 decks and everything. I had my wife on that deck. I said, honey, you have a choice. See the house that we looked?
Right.
Nation. You see this boat?
I can't do both.
Can't do both, but I can do whichever one you choose. You'll do.
I think she made the right choice. I don't know. Did she?
Anyway, I got a chance to sail on that boat.
She sounds like a beautiful good stuff. Just around here?
No. The boat that I sailed on was in Florida.
Okay.
And every time the guy wanted to tack, he had to put the engine didn't go across. It was
In
such a
light
tough-
wind, I understand.
Well, I mean,
Light
it
wind,
was-
I understand,
it
but
was-
not in heavy wind.
Not at, maybe, the wind was maybe 12, 15, just starting to get some white caps and, that kind of stuff.
Right.
And he was close for it, right? So I figured the boat's got to be able to make this. So I tried. I said, I'm a sailor.
Especially if she's heavy.
Exactly. But because she's so blunt, being heavy, just like you're hitting a brick wall.
So you could look up my boat when you get home. I wanted a boat with very little cabin top.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
I wanted a boat that had sleek lines, a little bit of an overhang on the bow, a little bit of an overhang on the stern, and she's got all that. She's 37-foot waterline, and she's 47-foot overall
Yeah,
length.
that's my word.
On your 45? That's pretty good. That's
But
pretty
I have
good.
a reverse stern.
Right. So you get the extra length that way. So I was looking. I looked 3 years. I had the money ready. I didn't have a lot of money. It was a very low budget. So I said I'm going to have to find a fixer-upper, and it's going to have to be the right boat. So I finally said to my wife, because I showed her, and she was part and party of it, right? I said I'm not going to do this alone. I want someone to do this with me. You got a guy cleaning down there. So once it goes around the outside, you can tack that way, and then we'll come back up this way if you want, and we will get around by his weight. Oh, now he's gonna give me the minute. Stay on your heading. Turn this way. Turn this way a little bit. Yeah, that's a good sign, right? Turn a little to the right. A little to the right. There you go. See the red and white radio tower? He's got it now. He's good. He's got it. That's perfect. Radio tower. So she's a sleek boat, and she's a heavy boat. She's 30,000 pounds, but there's a lot of boat there. 66-foot tall mast, cutter rig. By Big Jenny, or you could fly Station. She's got not quite adjustable backstays, but because of the placement, the extra backstays with that boat. You basically can go through any weather with that boat. I didn't want the other mast. But this boat, I have a feeling, is going to be just right. I mean, everyone I talked to who was on the boat said great reviews. The only thing they said is she's not fast because she's so heavy.
30,000 pounds for a 47-foot boat.
I think she's more than that now, because they're like people. They gain weight. You want to turn a little bit this way if you can, or tack. Tack over, yeah, tack over. Tack over. Go ahead. Ready about? Ready about. Hard. There you go. Perfect. Look, it's giving us a push. Yeah. Keep going. A little more. Tell me next time.
Yeah.
Just so that I see it. So yeah, I'm excited to get this boat going, because I looked and this is, I can't afford a Swan, but they say this is a poor man's Swan.
Well, there's a lot of boats that are, sort of like the Swan, and the Swans are good, but if you read some of these guys that the Violent Ocean or something by some of these people that do deliveries all their lives and everything, sure. They will take a boat that you wouldn't think was such a but they're great out on the ocean.
That's right.
That's right. If you can control a boat, there's no sense in having speed and all of this stuff. That's right. All you want is direction stability and riding mode.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So, if you have a flush deck boat like they made without cabins, but their freeboard is 5 feet up,
Defeats the purpose.
Yeah. Well, listen. But what's going to happen when you lay down? You're going to have more riding moment, even if the master's in the water.
The head height in the cabin is probably 6'4", 6'8", somewhere.
It's unbelievable.
And you're walking almost on the bilges. So that so the problem with this boat is tankage. She doesn't have enough tankage. So what I'm doing.
Ports in the security zone in the vicinity of Randall's Island. No vessel will be permitted to transit the gate while the security zone is in effect. Time for the
Wait, which one is Randall's Island? Isn't that down by the city, Randall's Island?
Yes. The one in the East River.